And what's going on, everyone? So today we are back and we are going to be diagnosing this Ford Transit over here, which is a 2017-2018 2-litre EcoBlue. So this one is actually rough running, and also sometimes it struggles to start, which is a little bit intriguing. To be honest with you, it could be anything but everything. But let's jump in straight to the diagnostic and find out what the fault is saying. There's no check engine light, so it's going to be a mysterious one. Let's go and have a look. Alright, so we've got the Euro tab 3 here now, but let me just show you what I mean by rough running. Look, and sometimes it doesn't start straight away. Here you go. Get in the ignition, turn. It will get there, it will get there. It will get there. No, that was long, right? That was what, 30 seconds cranking it? If you can imagine, if you keep doing that every time you try to start the vehicle, it's likely that you're gonna wear out your starter motor as well. So you don't want to keep doing that. So let's jump in the Euro tab 3 and let's find out what's wrong with this vehicle. Let's go. I'm not gonna waste any time. Straight in the PCM and low pressure fuel system, pressure too high. Interesting. So I'm going to try and put a diagram here on the screen to just show you what the low pressure and high pressure fuel system looks like. So on the low pressure side, on these EcoBlues anyway, on the newer ones, there is actually a pressure sensor. I think it's just before the filter housing. There is a pressure sensor that senses obviously how much pressure is going in and out of the low pressure side, which is the lift pump as people call it. And then you obviously have the high pressure fuel side, which is the on the rail before the injectors. There is also a pressure sensor there, and on the low pressure side it should be around 4 to 5 bar, and then on the high side I believe to get it started it's about 217 to 20 bar. But enough of that, let's go and have a look to see if everything checks out okay, if those pressures are absolutely fine or not. So let's go and have a look. Here we go. So I've got the high pressure here, so these two is the high pressure side here. So those are checking out okay, so they are relatively close, so they're about what, point something of each other, but you can see the commanded and the actual fuel rail pressure is pretty close. But now if we have a look, so the desired pressure for the low side, so this is your lift pump, it's showing at 4.47, and then the actual pressure that you can see there, it's 5.5, so that's almost a bar. Relatively, that is a lot of pressure between the two. It should be really, this one should be around 4.5 to 5 bar maximum, and as you can see that's on 5.5 bar, and that is the reason why we are showing that it's high on the low pressure side. But what we're going to do is we're going to inspect the vehicle to see where this is coming from. So from what I've been told, this vehicle has just gone in for a full service. So that's your oil filter, your oil, air filter, cabin filter, and the fuel filter as well. This was about 5 months ago, so that's not long ago. Now, to be getting that codes, it's either there is something blocked on your low pressure side, so it could be that your lift pump is either pushing too much current into the system and that's what's causing it to get clogged. Or you could also have your fuel filter. It's possible. I'm not saying that they didn't, but it's possible that they didn't replace that and it's been there since 2018. Who knows? People do not like to touch fuel filters for some reason, the difficult ones anyway, but I don't find this to be difficult. And then the third one being if your injectors are failing and they are leaking back too much back to the fuel filter housing. But we will go and have a look. We will inspect the fuel filter because we are servicing this vehicle today as well anyway, so we're gonna have a look to see if that fuel filter is okay or not. My bet is no, it's not okay. They probably did not replace it, but who am I to say? I'm just human. Let's go and find out. To replace the fuel filter on the newer Transits, it's fairly straightforward. Empty the fuel filter housing using the built-in tap on the side of the cover, and then you can finally unscrew the filter out of the assembly. Alright people, so we've seen this already. I don't know if you saw from the time lapse, and it's not the worst I've seen, but as you can see there, it has collapsed and it's starting to just get blocked. I don't think that's flowing nicely anymore, if I'm being honest. And they also caked it up with whatever grease that is. That's mental. And so we're going to be replacing that with Blueprint fuel filter, because that is filthy. That, to be honest, that's not 5 months to me. Maybe that's a year or two, but hopefully our Blueprint car parts fuel filter makes a difference. So let's go and have a look. And look at the difference. That's what it should look like. Look. Yeah, so we're going to be using Blueprint fuel filter, and that has collapsed. This hasn't. Clean, not clean. Let's see if that makes a difference. The pressure buildup was just too long, and in my opinion, it's probably because of that. So let's get fitting. To install it, it's pretty much the reverse order. Right, now that that's fitted, we're gonna clear down the codes, and obviously we're gonna be doing the reset as well for when you replace fuel filter, etc, etc. So that's water and fuel, and I think some other stuff. But let's go and have a look anyway. So I'm doing right now is just I'm priming the fuel filter housing so that it's filled with oil so that it will start straight away. Fingers crossed anyway. But here comes nothing. Let's go and have a look. Oh, died. Hello. So obviously there's bubble in the system. What the hell? So now it starts but dies. Confused. Panic. It was just panic. Obviously there's some air in the system at the moment, so obviously that needed to be purged. However, it still begs the question, will this vehicle start with one click or not? We'll go and have a look. We'll leave it for about 15 minutes because that's what they said, about 10-15 minutes. That's when you struggle to crank it again. But if I was to start this now, it will start straight away. Yeah, no problem. But we'll go and have a look because I don't want to be replacing injectors. Not today. It's going to be long. Not on these EcoBlues. They're so difficult to do anyway. Right, okay. So I tried it and unfortunately it's not the fuel filter. But like what I said, we're servicing it anyway. So it's good that we replace that fuel filter because it's likely to be on its way out anyway. Now, because it doesn't start straight away and it's showing low fuel pressure now, apparently that's what it is, I have gone ahead and inspected what's here, and to be honest with you, nothing unusual. But what we're going to do is we're going to perform a leak off test. So that's to see how much fuel is returning from those injectors back on the filter housing again. So we're gonna have a look at that, and my fingers are crossed that it's not the injectors because it's just too long doing these injectors, and you know they seize in place and god, it's headache. But anyway, come join me. To perform a leak off test, I first had to remove the leak off pipes from the injectors so I can connect our little testing apparatus. This apparatus will tell me if there's an excess amount of diesel flowing back from the injectors. If the injectors are leaking back an excess amount, then we know that the injectors are failing or have failed, causing this hard to start issue. Right, now that we've got our leak off pipe set up, so obviously I had to crimp that, and same with the other side as well. I had to crimp it because otherwise put ignition to, it will start pouring out. But we've got everything set up now, and we're just going to crank it and have a look and see if one or all of the injectors are leaking. So let's go and have a look. So let's crank it for a few seconds. As you will see in this clip, the leak off pipes are getting filled by diesel quite fast. This tells me that the injectors are not keeping the rail pressure, causing the hard start issue. Alright people, the test is back. So this was me running it for about 30 seconds, less than that, and all three pipes are filled. You can just about see it there if it will focus, and then the fourth one ain't even made it yet. The fourth one is obviously this one here, and then the three is just leaking, and that tells me that we have 3 leaky injectors, and there is the cause for the hard start. It's absolutely insane. Oh, I have to do this. I don't want to do it. Look at the weather. It's just over me. That weather right there, it's like my mood. I want to rain, but I don't want to rain. it's like I want to do the work, but I don't want to do the work, you know. But we have to get on, got family to feed. My kids are hungry, so let's go, let's do it. Removing an injector can sometimes be easy. Most of the time, they can become a real pain in the backside. To remove the injectors, all I have to do is to remove the 17mm nut that's attached on the injectors and high pressure rail. Next is to remove the injector clamps, and after that, pray to God that those injectors are not seized in place. Right, guys, do you know why I was dreading to do this job? Because I've done a handful of EcoBlue injectors, right? And they have not been very friendly with me. They've been difficult. But look at this. Look at this one. It's like an outcast. Are you ready? Are you ready? Look at this. Oh my God, look. It's moving. All of them. Look. It's wonderful. It's gorgeous. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm just waiting for the tissue to soak up the remaining diesel that's on the line, because I don't want that really going down the engine and the balls and stuff like that, because it's going to carry dirt, etc, etc. So yeah, I'm just gonna let it soak up and bring up all the dirt. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to be cleaning the balls and replacing those injectors. So as I say, let's get to it. Those injector holes are filthy. If it's not cleaned properly and you install a new injector in there, it's likely that the new injector will not seal the combustion chamber properly, which can cause issues such as cylinder misfire, like this one. Yeah, we don't want that. So now, let's clean the injector holes so we don't run into another problem. Using an injector ball cleaning tool, and also some made up ones, we managed to get the gunk out of the holes, as you can see. Look at all that gunk, mate, from the injector holes. Oh God, it's like cleaning ears, but except mine is clean. Jesus, look at that. But now I am proud to say that the injector holes that we've got, they're all clean, they're all nice. As you can see, you saw earlier, it was just like a black hole. There was nothing in there but dirt. And so now we are ready to put the new injectors in there. Just have a look at the old injectors compared to this new one. It is absolutely insane. You can see that one of them was not leaking, but the other three was. So now we're just going to replace all four, just so that we don't have to go back to this job to replace the last one when it does fail. It's probably going to be soon rather than later. Right, how do I know that we've got 3 leaking injectors? Well, it's actually quite obvious to me anyway. Now I'm going to show it to you on the screen. You can see that the first 3, the tip, they're really wet, and then the last one isn't, which is the one that came out of injector number 4. To rectify the injector issue, we are going to be replacing them with brand new OEM part. Continental is Ford's injector supplier for these EcoBlue engines, so it's safe to say that we're fitting an original part. Installing the new injectors is just a reverse order of taking them out, except I'm a mobile mechanic, so it's not as easy as that. Just when it started becoming fun, it started raining. Look at it, it's literally just this patch. It's this patch over here. What a piece of cloud. Anyway, cool, now that we've got the injectors obviously kind of bolted down, but not really, they're still quite free to move because this has not been torqued down. So what we need to do is to torque it down to 9 Newton meters plus 45 degrees, which is it's not really that tight, but you know, let's do that using our tank tools, torque wrench. Torquing the injector bolts down is also important. By doing it, you're ensuring that the copper seal between the injector and the cylinder head is squashed, creating an airtight seal. After that, it's finally time to build it all back up. We're almost there, except this guy is an absolute idiot. I really hate myself, really do. So as you can see, I've built it all back up now. Everything is back on, there is nothing left to go back in. Now I've forgotten the most important thing that I should have done. Yes, I have taken a picture of the characterization of the injectors, so that's no problem. I've connected everything up, but I did not tighten the olive nut that goes into the injectors. I've only just realized it when I was inside, and I was like, yeah, it's time to program it in. Almost done. No. I gotta open it back up again. Oh my god, I can't. I hate myself. I can't. Right, so I think we're here. And as you can see, oh, I am such a bed. Oh, look at all that. Yeah. I'm probably thinking, why? Why am I not getting pressure? Yeah, cause you haven't tightened it, you silly dumb. So, just to obviously make myself feel better, put it down in the comment section below what you think about this mistake, and also put it down the biggest mistake that you've ever done and that you have to strip everything back up again, or back down, however you wanna look at it. There we go, tighten this 17mm nuts, and that should be me ready to program the injectors. Catch you inside in a minute. Right, it's now on ignition 2. We don't have any leaks, which is good. I can hear the system pressurizing slowly, but now I can actually close it down. Don't get me wrong, that job to remove the top end is like 5 minutes, if that. It's just like, it's annoying, you know, having to spend extra 5 minutes when you're pretty much done. But yeah, all the injectors are on, and as you can see, they are shining, they're shimmering, and then they're now ready to be coded into the van. So let's go and do just that. Now we're gonna jump into the Eurotab 3 and do a correction factor. Turn on ignition, key off, and do a correction factor for the injectors. And so as you can see, those are the old injectors. I'm just gonna update them now so that we don't get misfires and rough running and rough start and all sorts. Alright, through the Eurotab 3, what we have to do, press OK now, and all the characterization is there. Press OK, there you go, and that is us all done. Now that's finished. Cool. Now let's just cycle it and fill up the fuel filter, and we should be able to turn it on. Alright everyone, moment of truth. Obviously it's not going to start straight away because, for the obvious, there's no fuel in the injector just yet, or even in the high pressure line. But we should be able to just start it straight away, really. Few cranks and should be good to go. What we're going to do is we're going to monitor the live data as well on the PCM, just to make sure that we are getting the correct pressure that is on the rail. So you can just about see the desired pressure right here is 250, and we've got the fuel rail at the moment currently at 4.5. So here comes the moment of truth. Let's have a look at this and see if it's gonna reach the 250 mark. Come on, yes it did. Come on, crank, 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 crank. Before it runs out of battery. Go, 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 push, push. Right, so I've exceeded the cranking time on that, but for now then, whilst we wait, I believe it's like 15 minutes rest time on this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be servicing the vehicle. So I'm going to be replacing the cabin filter using Blueprint car parts, and as you know, it is OE quality matching, so I'm not scared to fit this. And I know this has probably not been serviced either, this filter here. Let's have a look. Oh, to be fair, that's decent. That is pretty decent. When was this? Oh look, Blueprint as well. Don't know when it was, but yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna service the vehicle for now and have a look. We replaced the fuel filter, and we used Blueprint as well. That's the old filter right there. We're gonna be using Blueprint oil filter and Blueprint air filter on that. And the best part, I can finally get hold of liquid moly stuff. Thank God. We're going to be using liquid moly 030. Nowadays apparently you can use 530 C3 now, but as you can see, there's the correct Ford spec right there, which is this one here. Alright, okay, so no DTC. This is, by the way, the key on, engine off, so self-demand test. There's no low pressure codes, so let's have a look. This should just start in one click now. Okay, well, there's probably some air in there. Well, we'll give it a go again. Right, so we've left the vehicle now for about, I would say 5 10 minutes. Usually what would happen is you would struggle to start. It would take about 2 to 3 seconds before it turns on. Now then, moment of truth. Is it going to be a one-click start, or is it just going to cycle and we did everything for pretty much nothing? This is the point where I'm like, a little bit scared, you know, because obviously it's a huge job, well, relatively it's a huge job, but my fingers are crossed. Right, you guys ready? Ready? Here comes nothing. I am not happy about that. It could be that there's air in the system still. We'll give it rev and see. Right, moment of truth number 3. Right, I think I've purged all the air now. 3, 2, 1. Nice, lovely. Now let's listen to the difference. Right. Now that we've sorted this out, all I can say is thank you for being with me on this journey. It's been an up and down, but we managed to pull through regardless of the challenges. Thank you very much for watching this content, and if you'd like to see more, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Peace. Cause you haven't tightened it, you silly don.